just over the border from Greater Manchester into Lancashire, the seat that's reported to be the top target for Labour in the whole country is Burnley.
The Conservatives won it from Labour 5 years ago, but they're defending a majority of only just over 1,300.
In the first of our constituency profiles for the 24 general election, our reporter Zoe Muldoon went to Burnley to test the pulse of public opinion.
Burnley Market has been a constant in the town for centuries. But with just under 5 weeks until voters head to the polls, people here are eyeing up a change.
Burnley is still the same. Nothing's changed apart from the MP. I think it should be a main concern for everybody. The NHS seems to be falling apart and nothing seems to be done about it.
Just outside the Granada Cafe, Mohammed's grabbing some lunch before heading back to his job as an outreach worker. He wants the next MP for Burnley to address the cost of living crisis.
Born and raised in Burnley, but I don't just see it as, oh yeah, I want to see Burnley strive. I want to see the whole country go up.
Would you like to see more investment here though?
In Burnley? Hell yeah.
I don't know if I can trust politicians at the moment.
Money is also a worry for Amari.
I've got disabilities. I'm trying to bring up my child in this economy and it's hard, really hard.
So you're struggling?
Very much struggling to the point where this is a treat, a very, very rare treat for us. And I've had to save up for it.
Will you vote differently to how you voted last time?
More than likely. I think I might just go for one of the other smaller parties. Just because I want to see a change, I want to see a difference. And I don't think we can get that one from the big groups anymore.
A mile down the road, prayers have just finished at the Shah Jalal Mosque. Support for Gaza is a priority for Jaifor and Jabed this general election. But closer to home, they just want to be able to see a GP.
It's a lot of issues going on with the NHS, things like that. And the prices are so high and inflation as well. So we would like to see some changes on the 4th of July.
Pastor Mick Fleming runs charity Church on the Street. It provides food, advice and mental health support to anyone in Burnley who needs it.
1, 2, 3.
These women at a boxercise class here aren't pulling any punches when it comes to what they want from politicians.
The government needs to wake up and see reality of what is people are living with day in, day out. Sending us to food banks isn't the answer. We need to be able to afford to live.
I'd like to see our next government bring much more funding to places like Church on the Street.
Mick Fleming says the gap between the rich and the poor is getting bigger. This pastor has little faith in any political party right now.
It's sad, politics have become the politics of finance now. They're not politics of the people, and it's almost heartbreaking.
Do you find it hard to trust politicians on all sides?
I don't trust the agenda. People who are voting for the basic human right, and in my lifetime I've never seen that before.
So which way will Burnley go? And while the Clarets look for a new manager, parties on all sides have it all to play for. But for anyone looking for votes this year, Burnley is a tough crowd.
Yes, and Zoe's in Burnley now at the John Spencer Textile Mill, a family business that's been going 150 years. Some great history there, Zoe. But people in Burnley very keen to talk about the present and the future too.
Yes, Chris, lots of different issues have come up when I've been chatting to people in Burnley. Things like the NHS, the situation in Gaza, and of course, investment in the town centre. But one thing that was mentioned by everyone was the cost of living. People I've spoken to have told me that their main concern is putting food on the table and being able to pay the bills. Now, Burnley is a proud town that's been enjoying somewhat of an economic recovery over the recent years, but there are genuine areas of deprivation here, and that's where people are struggling the most. Household bills here, like everywhere else, have gone up, and people don't seem terribly optimistic about that changing anytime soon, regardless of who gets into number 10. So any party political leaders planning a visit to Burnley, take note.